Man, I got the borders are still vacant. I don't know when they're gonna they're gonna do something. Somebody's about to build something in the old borders. And this store over here was the old guitar center back in the day, next to the fur place. There was the old guitar center back in the day. And I think after Guitar Center left, that had to be over 25 years ago. That place has been empty ever since. Retail is you know, I go online to buy stuff on that retail. I'm telling you that I'm not gonna name the service. There's a service, retail service on the internet that's extremely efficient. They the Antichrist. They the bad guys. They almost worse than Walmart. Is Amazon. You know what I'm talking about. But damn, they efficient. So people buy stuff online. So retail. This used to be a funeral home right here. Then it was a library, but the library moved down the street. Y'all know I'm in Beverly. And here is there's a store right there. Let me see that store right there. Yeah, it's hard. I went by so fast. That was a tutoring center when I was a kid. When I was like in 6th grade, maybe, I think. My parents sent me down to the tutoring center. They tried to get my academics together, but academics wasn't me. I was a slow learner, and I had paid the price because I was a slow learner back. Oh, that's a library. I was a slow learner. My parents tried it. They did their best. I'm telling you, because all you can do is to do the best you can at the time, and you know, with the information that you knew and all that kind of good stuff. Now I should go over here to Alderman Brookins' office. Man, when they put the dollar store up in here? Man, you know, I ain't been over here in a while. They put the dollar store up here where the thrift store used to be over here. Now they got the dollar store. Man, when did they do that? I ain't been over here in a while. Stuff changed, man. You don't come back for a few months, few years, whatever. That's the other dollar store. That's been there for a few years. Now, Alderman Brookins' office is over here somewhere. I interviewed him, you know, a bunch of times when his old office was at on Halsted. Where is Alderman Brookins' office? Now Alderman Brookins, he was on my show years and years ago when he first ran for office. And he was on there a couple of times. I should have wrote all this stuff down, but I didn't. But he was on the show a few times, and in the big studio downtown, and I interviewed him, you know, in front of his office a few times. But Alderman Brookins is a really good guy. He's really smart. He knows what he's doing. I think I went past his office. I forgot where he moved. But I remember telling Alderman Brookins when I interviewed him years ago. Maybe his office is over in this area. Yeah, it is. There it is. Okay. I remember telling Alderman Brookins. I'm gonna show you to you right here. Alderman. I remember telling Alderman Brookins a long time ago that he shouldn't be alderman for like 2 or 3 years. I mean, terms, if you will, about 12 years, and that's it. So he's been a good alderman, you know, for what it's worth. Some people like him, some people don't like him. Here in the 21st ward, they really come out and vote more than other wards. And so I voted against Alderman Brookins in the last election. Now he was the best, the most qualified candidate to be alderman of all the candidates, I felt. But I voted against him because I think he needed to go take a break and do something else. And you know, that's politics. That's why when you try to explain politics to young people, it's kind of hard. Although I voted against Alderman Brookins in the last election, because I think people should be voted out. They've been there too long. He's running against Bobby Rush, represent U.S. Rep. Bobby Rush in the next election. Well, this election you may have seen, and it already happened, whatever. And I'm going to vote for Alderman Brookins in this election for U.S. House. So people say, how do you vote? I may vote against some other dude that's running. I may vote for him. I may not vote for Alderman Brookins. I don't know. I'm voting against Bobby Rush. That's the main thing. Because Bobby Rush is a nice guy, you know, but he needs to retire. And a lot of African Americans, not even African Americans, a lot of politicians, I shouldn't use race, but a lot of politicians, they stay too long and they need to be voted out of office. Although they've done a lot of good stuff and they're really good people, but they just need to retire. I know that's hard to retire. I don't want to end this TV show. I'm be forced out of stuff. I'm going to be forced out of this television show at some point. I'm probably not going to go on my own accord. You know what I'm saying? I understand. It's hard to let go and let it go and move on. It's hard. I get it. But sometimes you have to be pushed out. If you can't go on your own, you have to be pushed out. And that's politics. You don't see, and you don't take it personally. It's not, and sometimes politics is personal. I get it. But you try not to take it personally. You try not to. You try not to take politics personally. You try not to. So I'm voting for Bernie Sanders, or I voted, depending on when you saw this, for Bernie Sanders in the primary election. But I have no problem with voting for Hillary Clinton if she wins the general election. And you can't take it personal, people. You can't. So we have to have a Democratic president because of the Supreme Court. I'm telling you that right now. Supreme Court, people, is all about the Supreme Court in this next election. Supreme Court. I'm telling you. Supreme Court. And so the point is that you vote in every election. Sometimes people you vote for, a lot of times they may lose. You vote on principle, you vote being practical, but you just need to vote. And young people need to vote. You have to vote consistently, and the poor need to vote. The working class need to vote. That's why that's why people like Rahm Emanuel or Anita Alvarez or Bruce Rauner, they don't respect the masses, because the masses are just, consuming the travails of life. They don't understand politics, and they understand you have to vote consistently, and change takes time. It really does. Change takes time. Y'all agree with that? You understand that? So vote in every election. Please, just vote in every election, and make I got 2 kids in college. I got a son and daughter in college, and I make them vote. Otherwise, they wouldn't vote. So make your grandchildren, your children, grandchildren, your nieces and nephews vote. Even they don't understand everything. Please vote. Get into the habit of voting. So wrap up this part of the show. You vote in every election. You consistently vote. And after you vote, then you send letters and emails to your elected official. You stay in their behind. You got to stay in the behind of these elected officials. I send letters or messages, emails, whatever, to Mayor Rahm Emanuel. I've sent letters and email stuff to Barack Obama. And you feel like that ain't gonna work. But see, that you understand. You gotta understand. You gotta encourage other people to do it, because if like-minded people do this would change. The politicians don't respect the masses because they're not consistent. They don't consistently vote. They don't consistently send letters, emails, protests. If they were consistent, of course, change takes time, but you can do it. Yeah, do it. All right, the show is over. The show is over. I don't know what I showed you. Hopefully I talked about the election and whatnot, and how the politicians they really know that people are stupid, and they run the game, because most of us are non-college graduates. Most Americans do not read. Most Americans are really uneducated. Only about 30% of the country has a college education. And a lot of folks at college didn't have a college degree, didn't really go to a really good college. And a lot of folks went to college, they stopped reading books. So the trick is to be well read, whether you go to college or not, to either read the news every day, or you read philosophy or religion or whatever, science, whatever, float your boat, but try to read something. I don't read as much as I should, but I do read, because you got to read. So read, understand, draw upon some wisdom, and hopefully we'll get the masses to wake up. That's what it's all about. I think I talked about earlier about Rahm Emanuel, Anita Alvarez, maybe Bobby Rush in the election in March. You've probably seen this after the election, before the election, it doesn't really matter. And the people don't vote because they just overwhelmed with the travails of life. But the goal is trying to have an enlightened society. An enlightened society. People where they have some sense. An enlightened society. Do you understand that? An enlightened society, people. That's what it's about. An enlightened society. How do we wake the masses up? Everybody ain't gonna wake up. But an enlightened society. That's what it's about. Every time I see them planes, man, I just wanna, because I'm saving my money up. I'm gonna probably go somewhere this year for a little trip. Saving my money and go on a little ride. Go ride somewhere. Probably on a plane like that. You gotta go somewhere, people. Save your money up and go. Save your money and go! Go!